Hello, my name is Kenrick Davies, and I'm the instructor here for Physics 1403. I'm sure you have already looked at some of the intro material that I posted on Canvas, but by day, I'm a high school physics teacher, and then in my infinite amount of spare time, I do things with Colin, and also at Texas A&M Commerce. I'm always here to help. It may take me a little bit to respond to emails sometimes, depending on when my grades are due at high school, but I'm always here to help and answer anything that I can. I'm just here right now to kind of offer a little bit of feedback on some of the week one assignments. I haven't quite got through the labs just yet. Labs take a little bit longer to grade because I want to make sure that I offer great feedback for you. But the initial discussion question and the orientation assignments looked very promising. A couple things. The orientation assignments involving the project. Many of you have already had questions about these projects, and I think all three are just great options to explore. It just depends on your schedule. The sun observation one is a great one if you're not a night owl. The moon observation one is a great one if you're just fascinated by the moon. I saw a lot of people were very, very fascinated with the moon in their meet and greet posts that you guys have made already. The star maps that you're going to be using, to give an example, here's a star map that you would find on like skymaps.com. It shows quite a few things. It shows constellations. It shows the planets, which is always a great thing, but so you know if what you're looking at is either a star or a planet. Quick word about reading a star map. Regular maps, road maps, are meant to be looked at downwards, right? So you have the road beneath you, you have your map, you orient yourself using that way. Star maps are a different kind of thing. You're looking upwards, right? You're trying to orient yourself in the sky. So you're going to be holding it upward, and then you would orient yourself with the north, south, east, or west, depending on which way you're facing. And that's kind of how you would read a sky map. This particular sky map is a monthly one, and it's great. It's got a lot of great information. It even has some information about where the moon's going to be or different planets. If you're doing the moon observation project, then you may want to use a different sky map that I'm going to send out, a more seasonal sky map. Seasonal sky maps can just show a little bit more of the constellations that you would eventually see throughout the season, but they're not necessarily keyed to a particular time like these monthly ones are, time in the evening. To give you an example, the current sky map doesn't have Orion on it because Orion's not a constellation that we can see just yet, but it's a winter constellation, so by the time that we end up at the end of the semester, Orion is going to be in the night sky fairly early. So that's just a little helping hand on that sort of thing. I would advise using Stellarium as much as possible to help you orient yourself in the sky, especially if you're doing the star observation project. Those first few nights where you go out and you're not quite sure what you're looking at, using a sky map, using the Stellarium software will help you figure out what stars you can actually see. I know light pollution is somewhat of an issue here, but you should be able to see some of the major constellations such as Cassiopeia or Andromeda. These are major constellations that you should be able to see in McKinney. And I know because I used to live in McKinney, so I can see those all the time. The sky observations, the star observation project, I would suggest maybe keying yourself into a couple of constellations and maybe making observations of where those constellations are at your observation times. That'll help you get a feeling for how the sky is moving throughout the semester, either constellations or specific stars. The North Star would not be a good one to pick because, as we'll find out, the North Star doesn't actually ever really move, and that was why it was good for navigational purposes in early astronomical history. What else? In terms of the discussion question, there was a great thread that I was reading through on the discussion questions. You guys did amazing. Make sure that you remember that you're posting 3 times, right? 3 times. So you have the initial post and then responding to 2 other people's posts. That's how you can get full credit. I may offer feedback a little bit later on in the semester about those posts being a little bit meatier. You shouldn't expect that you would just say, oh, I agree with you, and here's why. You should offer up some new sort of information as much as possible. But this discussion question, I enjoyed reading all of your posts about how astronomy has touched you through music or art or movies, books. They're great. One of my favorite books is The Martian, which is also a pretty good movie. And it was great to see your enthusiasm for this content. I hope we can keep that enthusiasm throughout the semester. And I'm thinking that maybe these videos will help you have a little bit more of a connection to the course. I'm always here. I'm always available. If you have any questions or need of anything, you have my Zoom contact. That way we can set up some sort of meeting over a video chat, and that way we can get whatever questions that you have done. I would suggest not letting all of your assignments until the weekend, since they're due on Saturday, because I use Sunday to help grade them. And because there's quite a bit. You have to remember that we're taking both a science lab and a science lecture course at the same time. So there's a little bit of work, and so I'm expecting that you'll commit the time to it. Again, if you have any questions, I'm always available to help. The Mastering Astronomy system, I think most of you have gotten into it and have done the first couple of assignments. It does not work with Canvas in terms of grades transferring over automatically, so I have to key in grades straight from the Canvas portal from Mastering Astronomy into Canvas. So if there's any issues with that in terms of I accidentally put in a 9.62 instead of a 96.2, just shoot me a quick email and I'll get it fixed as quickly as possible. I don't think I have any other things for you at this time. I'm hoping to do this weekly, like I said before. That way we can have at least a little bit of interaction with the course and you guys with me. So I'm here to help. Please use me to the best of your ability, and I just need a little bit of time to be able to review things. Please don't send me something on the Friday night when it's due Saturday, as I may or may not have time to actually review it for you, at least in depth, and offer great feedback for you. So I'm excited for the course. I hope you guys are too, and let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Thanks. You guys have a great week.